Hello and welcome to episode 23 of Designer Speak. I'm your host Christopher Scott, and today I'm joined by Nicolas Camacho, and we have a special guest from Mexico, from Skype, the wonders of Skype, Natalia Delgado. So today's topic is something that's very interesting in the world of design at this moment, and that's the Hillary Clinton logo. I know, very controversial, this topic. So, Natalia, what is your opinions about this logo of Hillary Clinton?
Hi Christopher, thank you for inviting me. The first thing that caught my attention about the logo was the fact that she's using her name and not her last name for, I think, obvious reasons. So her branding of herself as Hillary, placing the emphasis on the H. And then, obviously, there will always be controversy regarding
of course,
major logos for big brands, and obviously a presidential candidate is a big brand. I think in terms of the analysis, it's important to move from personal taste to a more in-depth study of the objectives of any graphic piece in order to assess its efficiency. To be honest, I haven't been closely following this topic. I saw the logo, I saw some of the critiques in terms of like the arrows pointing towards the right, and the red being more of like a Republican Party color, several of those elements. But I think in order to give a proper assessment, I would need to be more familiarized with what the objectives of the logo and the conceptualization behind it was. So I don't know if you have any info.
That's the thing, is like, people are very quick to judge something. It's like when they say it, oh, I don't like it. And generally people don't have a reason why they don't like it. I think on the internet, a lot of branding, all these new campaigns get really bad press, because people just go, I don't like it. It's like being like trolls, and so like it's like people aren't really looking at it, like what you said, Natalia, from trying not to be really. When I look at a new design, I don't look at it and go, okay, I like it or I don't like it. It's normally I need to like study, like what you said, like study it a bit. And obviously we don't have the brief in front of us that Pentagram Mega Beirut had. So that's something that we should always need to be considered as a designer. And Nicolas, what is your opinions on the logo in general?
Well, for me, thanks for inviting me. Well, any logo has to have two main objectives: I think simplicity and to be memorable.
Yes.
Memorability is fundamental. That it has to be simple in order to attach a greater kind of associations with it, to make it like it possible to say something else. If we make it too complicated, probably won't be able to be something that attach a meaningful situation and ideas towards it. And I think every logo that I've seen that is simple, that's following one of these rules, could easily become a target for people to have controversy or think it's several things. But simplicity is one of the most important things about it. Like Natalia said, because pointing to the right, it could be called, is she becoming a Republican, or is it similar to some other kind of logos, like maybe, I saw something on the internet, like maybe
the FedEx logo and stuff,
or it's becoming like the History Channel or something like that. But the thing is important to remember that whenever it's simple, it's easier to become like a part of a greater, like an alphabet. And whenever it becomes like a part of combining with another ideas, it could become a plan for changing probably the history of the United States, or because when a politician is doing something, it has to be part of something else, has to be part of a plan, of a greater picture of things. So she's trying to do that, I think.
And do you have any other thoughts on the logo? What do you think it works, or?
just wanted to comment on what you were saying first. When you say people usually say I like it or I don't, I think that's okay. That's like a first level response, and we are all entitled to like or dislike.
Of course.
Anything. And maybe for a person who's not a designer, maybe that's as far as they go. They either like it or they don't. They might not even know why they like it or they don't. So it's just like a first level response. And then as designers, because we study visual communication, then we need to move past the first level response and go first to the second one. So it would be like, why do I like it? Why don't I like it? Yeah. And then go to like a third level. It's like, is it effective? You know, maybe I don't like it, but it's working for its intended audience, and is it working or is it not working? So I think the deeper you go into these levels of analysis, you can get a richer understanding that will be useful for you as a graphic designer, and maybe not for, like maybe my mother wouldn't want to go that deep because she just doesn't care, you know, she either likes it or doesn't. And then the other thing, as Nicolas was saying, is I think it's important when you're looking at a logo to remember that it's a logo, and which is different than a brand. And the way I see it in a political campaign is more like a brand. So you need to see the logo within the context of how it's being applied. Mm-hmm. I remember when they first redesigned the Walmart logo, there was also big controversy about it, and pretty generic, you know, like little star mark. But then it's sometimes the designers are already thinking like, well, I'm going to put this star in the bags, and I'm going to put it in all these different applications. So again, thinking about how is this logo going to come across in the whole branding platform.
Yeah, I think that's really, really important to understand. And Nicolas, you're saying it, and Fanny, you said it also, is that when you have a logo, it's not just a logo. It's more than that. It's like, how does that logo or how that brand function in different elements, and what happens when you have it. I seen today, she had it, H on the arrow was this photo was in the shape and the forms of the logo itself. These two photos, and it looked really cool. And that's what people, when they see a logo for the first time, they're too quick to jump on the bandwagon and say, oh, I don't like it. And me as myself as a designer, I always like, okay, I look at the logo and then I always sit back and I watch Facebook destroying it. And Facebook did destroy it, guys. You have no idea. And you could go on to Google Images and you've seen some of them already, like the FedEx, and it destroyed Hillary Clinton. But do you know what, guys? In actual fact, all this publicity is actually awesome. Because you have to think about it in the design context. The other two guys in the presidency campaign, one of them burned the American flag with a torch. Then another guy just put a star, which was not too bad, but it's still too like Che Guevara type thing. So like in the history of all the logos for the presidential campaigns, my favorite by far has been the one by Hillary Clinton. It's simply because when you have a logo for the presidential campaign, it's far too easy to put the American flag in the campaign logo or the campaign branding. It's far too easy to do this, or to put elements of like the torch of the that symbolizes that what do you call I'm getting really embarrassed here. I can't remember the Statue of Liberty. Woo! So yeah, it's like it's too easy to put these elements in, but Hillary Clinton and the Mega Barduk and Pentagram went for something completely different that no one else really has done before in terms of presidential campaigns. Do you like the logo, Nicolas?
Do you like it? I like the logo, and especially because she is trying to use an idea like saying, okay, let me just earn your vote. She's like trying to do like, okay, let's generate something that is so simple, can generate controversy, and then from that, like from getting all the attention, she can do something. That's something I think is important to remember. The logotype comes from the two Greek words, logo that means word, and type that means imprint. I think the logotype or the logos have to be something so simple to be able to attach, to be able to imprint this concept, this archetype inside the mind of the people. Now let's think about the meaning of the cross. That means that the heaven and the world has to be united, or the square that means the universe, or like the triangle that means like God. For some cultures been used. So I think whenever something is so simple, it's easier for people to remember.
Exactly.
And it's easier to tell a story about it.
Okay, nice. And do you actually like the logo, Natalia?
Yeah. So for me, I think I have pros and cons of things that I like.
Okay.
I like that it's memorable. It's bold and it's memorable. So it communicates like strength, movement. So what I interpret is like strength, movement, bold. Hillary, not Clinton, and
that is an interesting point, though, that she went for Hillary instead of the Clinton.
So it's Hillary, and even though she kept the last name, it's Hillary that she's emphasizing, and that it's memorable. In terms of what I don't like, I do think it's a bit generic. That it could have been somehow. It seems like something that my students would come up as like their first thing to brand their name. So a little bit generic. But like I say, it's really hard to criticize the logo on its own because it might be really coolly applied as a brand in all the, and you know, like sometimes you see very simple logos that the logo is just type.
Like so.
See it carried out, you see like, oh wow, it's like the whole brand, the whole concept is really, it's really amazing. So I would need to wait to see how the brand develops. You know, even the logo in animation, on TV, on all the different elements. And another thing that I think it's important to point out is that because political campaigns involve people, similar to flags, the Mexican flag is so hard to draw. I think that this is the logo that people can very easily appropriate if they wanted to like do their own banners or hand draw the children, and
That's true. That's a good
so
point.
it's very accessible for the audience. So those are like the advantages that I perceive in it.
Okay, great. Thank you very much to Natalia Delgado for joining me today, and thank you also to Nicolas Camacho. This is an awesome, really cool thing, and I think that this is going to be the first of many episodes of bringing special guests such as Natalia with us in Designer Speak. We're so excited to all the other special guests we're going to have with us. In relation to the Hillary Clinton logo, for me, always remember the first thing for a logo, it needs to function. And in this case, by people talking about it in podcasts and all around the internet, it functions because it's getting people to look at it. And that's essentially what design is. It's getting people to look and to talk about design who are maybe not even designers. But yeah, I would actually like to say congratulations to Michael Barut and the team of Pentagram, because I think you actually did a very good job. Maybe not everyone thinks that, but congratulations, guys. And we'll see you again next week for the next episode of Designer Speak. See you soon.